Hello everyone! Today we're going to talk about a very interesting and rapidly developing genre of video games, such as GTA-like games. Although maybe I really shouldn't call it that because someone might actually end up suing someone else. So instead we'll be discussing in particular true crime open world games. Today, our old friend Fyodor is here with us along with Miroslav. Guys, tell us about this project. What is it? How does it work? And where did it come from? If you want to level up and get published, simply go to the official cas.ai website now and fill out the publishing form. If you just want to monetize your game, go to the cas.ai website and fill out the mediation form.
So it's not really GTA-like, well, because it can only be GTA-like with him, right? So this means it's a game about a troublemaker, and that's why we have Santa Claus in it. And the game is all about chaos, destruction, everything we love, made especially for kids. Today's show is proudly sponsored by Alenka Baby Powder.
The idea for all of this came about around 2 years ago, based on the fact that we had some comprehension and understanding of the metrics. GTA sandboxes, let's put it this way, some information. The information was exceptionally inspiring, both in terms of organic reach and, let's say, conditionally free traffic and so on, and we saw potential in this niche. The niche itself was interesting, meaning there wasn't a strong leader, and you could see that other projects were also growing, so overall speaking, it looked promising. But the main issue was that, due to the specifics of our team and our capabilities, we weren't ready to go online. For about a year, we thought about what to do with this, since an online sandbox just wasn't an option for us. Well, honestly, it was hard to come up with something truly catchy. And then, at some point, Fyodor got inspired and eventually discovered a little game on Steam that really helped us imagine how this could be implemented on mobile. So, inspired by some of these ideas, we basically started working on a roguelike game. And now we're thinking about where to take this whole project next, how to position it, what direction to look in.
Vika, go ahead and tell us what you think about all this.
I'll say a few words about ASO Mobile, which we constantly use to analyze mobile applications. Basically, you can easily use this tool at any stage of ASO, from collecting search queries to gathering metadata with the help of an AI assistant that will guide and help you with all of this. You can analyze virtually any competitor or any app available on Google Play and the App Store.
Subscribe to the Cast.ai channel and hit the bell so you don't miss out on monetization strategies and case studies from the world of mobile games.
Honestly, from a textual ASO perspective, I didn't really have any particular comments about this app. All the necessary keywords are included here, as they should be. The problem is most likely that you simply don't have any traffic. That is all the keywords that are needed. If we look in ASO Creator, the ones that might come up, basically, you have almost all of them. GTA is mentioned everywhere even. I don't know how you got through, but yeah, okay, you might still get flagged for that in the future. So basically, everything related to that, I have no comments here. I did have some comments about the rating because the rating in the US is currently 4.2. That's very low, you really need to work on that. Try adding a rate us prompt at the very beginning. Regarding the video, I watched it, it's very long, I don't know why it has to be that long, but okay, still, it's interesting. As soon as you open it, you're immediately engaged. You see a helicopter flying, there are explosions, gunfire right away, and then Santa Claus drops in. As for the video, I have no comments either. You can always try to improve things through A/B testing. But when it comes to the screenshots, I do have some comments. Why are there only 3 of them? When we're talking about a game app, especially since you have things to show, like explosions, gunfire, money that the player collects, coins, basically, you can show anything. But in your case, there are only 3 screenshots here, and I don't recommend doing that. Even for game apps, there should be at least 5 or 6 screenshots. For example, this one here is just crooked. So, in general, yes, you really need to work on your screenshots because your icon and your ratings will actually be responsible for your conversion. Well, maybe some people look at the number of downloads since that's available on Android, but still, about the screenshots, there are questions about rating.
Let's talk a bit more about acquisition, about competitors, and everything related to that. Where to look, how exactly to look, and what specifically to look for.
Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about acquisition. You have a very interesting and cool project. Why? Because just a few months ago, our dedicated team actually made a game in a very similar genre, and it's actually one of our top performing games that took off extremely quickly because something very pleasant and unexpected happened, which I'd really like to share with you. In the first days after we released this game, it showed a truly impressive and remarkable retention rate, which was quite exciting for us. According to Firebase, it was about 70% on the first day, which in turn gave us a pretty solid start for this game in particular. Now I'll show the key metrics, demonstrate how we work with a similar genre in more detail, and then we'll move on to see what our competitors are doing as well as how they're acquiring users. The tool that we will be using to examine everything is called App Magic. It is a very helpful and valuable feature that assists absolutely any developers, both new studios and large giants, who want to achieve even better results. You can't do this without good analytics, so please use App Magic. App Magic is the tool that helps you both on the product side and the marketing side. In fact, we use it all the time. Here we currently have our game in a similar genre. This one in particular is about Dr. Octopus. I'll briefly show you what we've managed to achieve during this month, but probably just these two charts that you see on the screen right here, right now, speak for themselves. Here I'm showing the statistics for the past month. You can clearly see the growth, and of course, on weekends, we actually get a boost, more traffic, but overall, you can see that this is our app is growing and keeps growing. It has been like this since the very first day we released it. What do we pay attention to? For each game, as I mentioned in previous videos, we calculate our own KPI, which is the target KPI for the game. Specifically, the day zero KPI, how much revenue we need to recoup on day zero for the game to pay for itself, serves as a crucial benchmark. And I want to draw your attention to the fact that this month the game has already spent 11,600. Now let's take a look at which top sources we're buying from. And our top purchases are from the following sources. Mintegral is probably one of our very top networks where we consistently get pretty good users. The next one, a smaller network, is the new ASO. It brings in users with the highest retention rate that we have at the present time. Unity ads as well. We just recently launched TikTok. This is a new source for this app, so we're just starting to scale it up. Also, Bigo ads. Google Ads is performing a bit worse for us, but we're doing relaunches here to boost its performance and pay close attention to the organic traffic. It brings in 1,500 new users per month, which is pretty good. There are even some purchases. Overall, there are not that many purchases on the project, less than 3 to 5%, actually even less than 3%.
Right now, we're talking about the fact that this is a raw game, which is still being refined at the moment, but we can see that the market potential is truly huge, and we haven't even pressed the button yet. That is, there haven't been any purchases through makeup ads or a plugin yet, mainly because, to a large extent, we still lack content.
Yes, that's probably our main sticking point, to be honest. The issue is that we're still finishing up the content, but nevertheless, we have very good metrics for this game.
I heard that you did some user acquisition and ended up receiving some bad reviews from users. Specifically, what exactly happened there? Why? What were you buying traffic for? And why didn't it work out?
No, in most cases, the user acquisition was reasonable. Everything was fine. In one release, it just wasn't tested thoroughly enough. Let's put it that way. A new update, and there basically when a user entered the menu, the tutorial would open up for them. And we noticed it too late. Well, naturally, we turned everything off and fixed it, but by then, negative reviews came in. Before that, we hadn't had such problems. It was a one-off.
I'll start with something unconventional. Let's take a look at what SDKs they have and how they're monetized. I can already see that they have a large pool of different SDKs. Firebase is obviously for launching, Google for analytics tracking, Google AdMob from Ad Network, Facebook, Unity, Applovin, IronSource, ChartBoost. In other words, basically Pangle, Mintegral, the whole main set, everything is there.
It's worth noting that specifically they're being tracked through AppsFlyer, and they actually switched to it just quite recently.
In 2024. So did they actually enable user acquisition or not? Did they turn it on or not? We'll check that now. So they have a lot of reactives, and the reason I first paid attention to the SDK is because they had AdMob, Applovin, and other networks they used, and here you can see they are buying traffic. 85% of the traffic is on Applovin, which actually in fact makes sense because that's probably just how it is. They use Applovin Max Mediation, so they launch a variety of campaigns here, which are doing fairly well. There were attempts to buy traffic on both AppLovin and Google. The numbers look pretty dismal, to be honest. These aren't even actually installs, these are just ad impressions. Something didn't work out for them. It was definitely AppLovin because HTML was added. This is the interactive end card that's available in this network. Let's just play around with the dates and see what happened over the year. The acquisition numbers look really bleak. I don't see new networks in the acquisition strategy. Let's take a look at the top creative. Just a standard and straightforward gameplay creative, crossfail. Nice. A beautiful splash screen at the end. And here we have HTML, which is actually an interactive ending card that even loaded. I can't control it, but it does close. I can say that games of a similar genre are being promoted. They're acquiring users quite well, I can say from personal experience. You just need to keep improving, monitor the gameplay, and watch user behavioral patterns. And as you can see, it's being promoted almost everywhere.
If we're talking about what to make out of this game, a super hit, then probably not, because the genre is quite niche. After all, true crime open world games are primarily played on PC and gaming consoles, but even so, this game can confidently pull in 10, 20, even 25,000. That's just my subjective opinion. And in principle, we're interested in projects of this type. We could sit down and give it a try. At the very least, take a look at it and see what it's about. If you want to monetize your game right away, quickly, with 15 ad networks, go to the Cast AI website, fill out the form, and we'll help you with that very quickly. Now, let's go over some marketing metrics. First of all, what's the idea here regarding monetization? How is the revenue stream divided? That is, how much comes from in-app purchases, how much from ads, or how do you plan to do it?
Well, at the moment, there hasn't really been any monetization happening yet. Initially, of course, we planned a hybrid model, roughly 50-50, but now, considering the latest market trends, we'll probably be leaning more towards in-app. As for ads, obviously things aren't going very well right now, so we'll try at the very least to shift everything to in-app. For now, let's say we haven't even started working in that direction because we haven't even decided on the genre we'll ultimately go with, and from there we'll move forward. Actually, it's not so much about the genre, but about the core mechanics, because we have a couple of options for how we can tweak and improve everything a bit. We were really concerned about the 24% retention, but then I saw you also have 24% and you're still afloat. So, how do you manage that?
Wait a second. Where did you check the retention? Did you look in Firebase or in the MMP? And
Both in the MMP and in Firebase.
you must have checked something wrong. That can't be. I think we actually uploaded a video on our channel about this. If we haven't yet, guys, if you're watching us, go check it out. Oleg and I have a brief recording about retention. How is it different, Firebase versus MMP? And how are day zeros counted? Day zero rows in Google and other networks.
Here, it's not really the size of the retention that matters, but how effectively you can use it. Once again, Zoriana, show us the high-performing creatives for car destruction.
Now, dear friends and viewers, I'm showing you the top creatives we have on Drive A6.
So it's clear that this is, well, quite a significant improvement. I don't actually really understand how many polygons your car has.
I'll take a pause here. Do you see these little dots that we made right here just now? They show the deformation points such as these. Each car has its own. And by the way, this creative here, we have several creatives like this with these points. They made it to the top for us, and we added them. This is in the gameplay, and let me show you even more right now. Like this one, for example, as you can see, there is also car deformation, but this time without the dots, but it's a very dynamic creative.
Here, in any case, the purchases are usually our responsibility. If you go to publishers, then we essentially gain a clear understanding of what and how to do with genres, and here we can really spread our wings. So the first test was 36%, and I would say that's actually more like the golden cohort. It's the same for us. The first cohort was 78% according to Firebase and about 49 or 48% according to MMP. Then, as we kept buying, it all dropped by about half. Fedor, can you actually say what it is at the present moment? Average engagement time?
So, average engagement time for an active user? 18 minutes, yes.
Actually, everything is good. People played this game. They finished it in 12 minutes and then tried to play it again, hoping for a different experience.
Well, from this side, yes, it seems pretty good, but there are some nuances.
Now, I guess it's time for us to say thank you. That's all. Bye-bye. Subscribe to the Cast.ai channel and hit the bell so you don't miss out on monetization strategies and case studies from the world of mobile games.